And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Legend of Zelda Randomizer. Tonight we have for you the Battle Royale series, Lynels Quest for the Holy Grail. I am alsoa999 here with my co-commentator Noraestra, and this is going to be quite an interesting match for our forerunners tonight.
Oh, definitely. Good evening, Aljon. So kind of a quick rundown of what we're looking at. Instead of Triforces, we need a random item to get into 9. So I believe the only things that those items can't be are the boomerangs and consumables. Quite a bit of other fun stuff going on here, too.
Is very correct. There's a 50-50 chance that game is not required, so it's possible that once you find that Holy Grail item that gets you into 9, you can just find Zelda's room, it opens up, and then you're done. This is a flag set that could conceivably take 15-20 minutes or less. It could also, however, take 2 hours. As far as our runners are concerned, as you can see on alsoa999 screen, alsoa needs points. These Battle Royales are feeding into a tournament of champions. Alsoa is currently 10th out of 10 qualifiers for that tournament of champions. So he is definitely hoping to survive this week. For anyone who's not familiar, the way these Battle Royale work are everyone races each week, and the only thing you have to do is not get last. So alsoa needs to survive at least 2 more weeks without elimination to guarantee himself a spot in the Tournament of Champions. Dark Falls and Garionoldwolf, who unfortunately has some stream issues, but he will still be racing. We just will not have a view of his screen. And looks like we're off. Sorry.
That's a pretty good start right there on Candle Row. Easy access to a lot of overworld right away.
Yeah, a lot of overworld and a lot of open caves, which means a good chance at a sword or maybe a white sword item or some kind of hints, but not 35 rupee bombs. That's definitely not what they want to see.
Yeah, no thank you.
And looks like my precious is the door repair, but with none of our runners with any money, that's not going to be any kind of concern.
So if you've been watching the Pinafore tournament, you'll have seen the book Be Your Hint guide also has found level 4, and so is Raikou. They're both going to keep looking for 9. That's really where you want to go first. But Dark Falls is going to take a peek in here. As I was saying, the book lets you understand the old men in the Pinafore tournament. Tonight, we get the Atlas from the book, and it's also possibly Boomstick.
Speaking of level 9, also has found it immediately. We are going to see the recorder is our Holy Grail. So all you need in this seed is a tutti flute, and you will have everything you need to enter level 9. Whether or not you can clear level 9, of course, is an entirely different story.
Right. You may not even need a sword here, but our runners are definitely going to want to see it.
They're definitely going to want to see it as we see, oh my goodness, that is a very huge secret. 132 rupees and a spin. That's Lost Cards fan approved.
That's definitely a great big secret. Unfortunately, unless you need to buy something, it's not all that useful in this flag set.
Well, I mean, we have 35 rupee bombs. That's something to buy.
True, but we need to find the recorder. And our runners, while they're looking for the recorder, they're probably going to go ahead and search for the bow and silvers just so they have them in case the pig is needed.
That is very true. Raikou finding a Take Any Cave at Vanilla Blue Ring Shop. Takes his candle, give him some more exploration, seeing as he's, right here on Candle Row.
And Raikou's found level 8 in Vanilla 1.
Looks like that's also that's found level 8, but that does have 2 items if he's willing to brave it, but with no weapons of any kind, I can't say as I blame him for not.
He might be able to snag a free weapon, but that's a rather large dungeon, especially in Shapes.
Yes, Shapes is on for this tournament, unlike the Pinafore tournament. But as I was saying, also needs to survive 2 weeks to guarantee himself a spot. Dark Falls and Garion are only playing for position in the last chance qualifier. Raikourider is the only one who is free and clear, guaranteed to advance. He's playing with house money. As we see a medium secret of 38 rupees. Money is amazing in this scene.
Yeah, money's not going to be an issue. The bigger issue is going to be, where is that recorder?
And the raikourider looked like he was thinking about picking up wood arrows at 61 rupees, but he's going to pass on it for the moment. Also, meanwhile, found level 7.
Yeah, so we're found that at the forest
shop. Looks like Raiko is going to invest in some bombs, though.
Our small secret's 10, not the best. Yeah, it's vanilla, but that's fine.
Yeah, 38 and 132 for the medium and the large, that's fine. And it looks like we have the wooden boomerang on the coast. Since it looks like raikourider is going to be checking into level 5 a little bit and finds leave your life for money. He only has 3 hearts, so leaving life will put you in zombie link state. You're basically in one-hit KO mode until you die or hit an up A, which Raiko's going to do. So really didn't lose anything to that mugger.
No, that's a nice mugger. And here, also is going to go ahead and buy a candle, which will give him an extra heart. Not that it's necessarily needed, but not going to complain about an extra heart.
That is very true. Raikourider did a little bit of digging in 5, found the compass that he doesn't need. Trails, a quick recap on the important flags. There's a Holy Grail item to get into level 9. We know that it's the recorder. Enemies have random HP. Oh,
sorry
go
to interrupt you. Did you see what Raikou found in the shop?
The book. That means the boomstick is on, but it's going to be 213 rupees and finding the wand in order to play with it. Granted, with money the way it is, 213 rupees is not out of reach. But I get the feeling Raiko's probably going to want to spend that on other things if he gets the chance.
Though with the price of bombs, if you're having to buy multiple packs, that's definitely a better solution.
That is a very good point that you bring up. And also, it is going to be able to take gonna take the heart from the first that take any at that Forest Armos.
So a question here in chat: what is the boomstick? When you come as Dark Falls has found the sword on the Armos screen up there. The boomstick is when the flag is on, the wand and book combine to shoot out a bomb.
It's a much better effect than the flame because it basically gives you infinite bombs, at least in terms of exploration's sake. Maybe not so great for killing enemies, but it still gets the job done fairly serviceably. As also found his wood sword.
I mean, really, the enemy starts to become a problem with his Patra and occasionally Dark Nuts, but still, give me the boomstick.
Oh, sure. If you can pick it up, there's no reason not to. Also, I bought a hint that told him that one of the items in level 8 is the raft. That is almost certainly not required in this seed.
Oh, definitely. Now, we do have
Dark Falls found level
here.
6.
So, those hints aren't necessarily all going to be useful.
They aren't all going to be useful, but any that are real hints are guaranteed to be truthful.
Correct.
And the Riker are getting hints about the magical sword by a lake. There's a whole lot of real estate by a lake, so I'm not sure that is going to be useful. And Raiko is going to buy wood arrows. Very interesting.
I'd be surprised if our runners get the hearts to pick up magical sword in this type of flag set.
Oh, for sure. I don't foresee them even trying to do it.
Raiku's found the second max secret here, so he's getting very close to that book.
Actually, I think that might be his third, because he picked up a second 132 and immediately spent it on arrows.
Well, then that could be the third. Then you're right.
All three of them very close to start.
Yeah, so for this flag set, you don't need any Triforces. We know we need the Recorder. We have found level 9, and it requires a Grail, which is that Recorder to walk in the front door.
Yes, so you can have 1 Triforce, you can have 0 Triforce, you can have 8 Triforces. It doesn't matter if you have the 2D flute. And however, as we said, it is a 50-50 chance that Ganon is required, so half the time they will need some kind of sword, the bow, and the silver arrows as well.
Did we say what was on the coast? Raikou just saw it. I didn't get a good glimpse of it. It looked very...
It was the wooden boomerang.
Okay. Yeah, we won't be picking that up tonight.
Yeah, definitely not something our runners are going to be going out of their way to find. Looks like Raikou's found the Any roads, though.
And also has found level 1. 2 items, key block, but a fairly decent dungeon.
And level 1, always a good dungeon to find. 2 items, 1 lay on the floor.
Oh, but this is a segmented one. Again, we are playing with shapes, so for those of you familiar with the Pinafores.
Yeah, so we could have segmented dungeons, we could have multiple segments, and we found the red candles, the item on the floor, and those red Lynels are going down very, very quickly.
So one thing we forgot to mention is the HP and boss enemy is random. So they could be 0. They could be, I believe, up to +4.
And I am not 100% sure, but I'm starting to think that we may have rolled a 0 HP seed. We'll get confirmation from alsoa if he can one-shot these. Alright, so it's not plus or minus. It's not a 0 HP on these enemies, but
well, I think each enemy can be random on its own, and that is an interesting looking one.
That is a very, very interesting looking one. It's like a handcuff, and then there's that 2-room segment.
So
and
now
it looks like also oh no, that's the transport, and also has found the old man room, and that's cutting off all the access to the other right side of the dungeon.
Now the rules still do apply for the items, and one, you'll always have 1 on the floor and 1 in a staircase, and same for all the dungeons as we've seen. So our runners will be looking for staircases in every dungeon except for 2. And we've already seen the floor item here in 1. And it looks like we may be key blocked here in 1.
And it does appear to be the case, unless the dongos will drop 1 for alsoa. Meanwhile, Raikou into level 7. Very interesting that he's checking this out. He still hasn't found the sword, which is also
there's a
bit of cause for concern.
So level 3 has the magic shield. So with the boomstick in play, the magic shield replaces the book as the dungeon item.
So also has found the Triforce, but he doesn't need that in this flag set. He just needs the Recorder, and anything that gets him closer to that will be greatly appreciated. And very lucky for also getting the key so we can get through that locked door.
Oh my.
Well then. Level 1 has your Holy Grail.
Now the question becomes, do we need bow and silvers? As also is going to make a beeline to level 9 most likely.
Oh, and I don't blame him one bit. You 100% take the shot at just being able to go straight there. Maybe not. He hasn't up aid, so he is at least thinking about doing a little bit more digging. He wants this Armos item, and he finds that's the any key. What a find! And meanwhile, what is that level 8? Darkfall's finding that level 8 map, and yuck.
Well, and since the way Shapes works with level 7 and level 8, what is that level 7? Ugh.
Well, I think that level 7 is going to be really tame in comparison. It's
triple segmented, it looks like, at least.
Possibly. Those one-off rooms aren't guaranteed to show up in 7. They could be part of it could be room in 9's map, as also making the beeline to level 9.
Yeah, this is definitely the right play in this flag set. Get into 9, get your exploration here, along with find out if Zelda required.
Yeah. Also we'll be looking for is a single shutter door that does not open even after he's killed all the enemies. If he finds that will not open even after he's killed all the enemies, then Zelda is behind that shutter, and killing Ganon will be required to open it up. If Ganon is not required, then she can be behind any room. It doesn't even have to be a shutter.
Yeah, the other problem here, and there's the compass. Oh, that's a trip.
That is definitely a trip, but at least it will tell him the direction he needs to go if he wants to do any digging.
Yeah, so 9 is definitely one of the, it is the largest dungeon here, but also, we're very low resources in here, so
yeah,
could be very interesting.
Yeah, wood sword, green tunic, 5 hearts, definitely one of the lesser equipped 9s we've seen runners deal with. Meanwhile, Darkfalls has found level 1. That'll get him his recorder if he digs it out properly.
Yeah, he's got 5 keys. He's gonna clear this. He'll clear this out, no problem. He's got the red candle.
Raiko finding another mugger in level 6. He's gonna pay the rupees this time, which leaves him 1 short of Boomstick, but I don't think Boomstick's on his mind. I'm not even sure he's seen the book.
He has seen the book. He hasn't seen the wand yet.
Yeah, that is the other crucial piece of the puzzle.
Now, 9 can still be 9. We could still be looking for magical staircase, bomb walls, you name it. And we do have second quest rooms on in here, so random push blocks as well.
Well, not necessarily random, just a lot more push blocks than there are in first quest. And that takes him pretty close to where Zelda is.
Oh, wow. That's...
So we may see a shutter door really quickly.
There's a bomb wall, but he can't bomb through it, so...
Can't bomb through it directly, at the very least. There may be a bomb way around. Meanwhile, it looks like Raiko was considering buying the hints at Monocle Rock, deciding not to.
Oh, right into a Patra. Yikes.
Yuck. Raiko does have his wood sword at the 17-minute mark, though.
The other thing is that shutter door. Once you clear that Patra, will it open?
That is the big question, because that was right next to Zelda's room. So if that was it, then that's it.
And we're going to find out here real quickly if bow and silvers are required.
Also, Darkfalls with a really nice double stun on those Dodongos.
And he'll be getting his recorder out of the next room here. And he'll be making his way to 9.
Almost assuredly. He's got 4 keys right now. He probably will check the any key he probably will check that last Armo spot and get his any key just because there's no reason not to.
Yeah, it's right there, and he's already cleared out all the other ones, if I remember correctly. So you might as well grab that one.
Yeah, he knows that has to be it.
Yeah. Also has found a way around the Patra, it looks like.
Awesome.
So we'll see if
Yeah.
there's a second way in. These gorillas are not going down easy.
And I do like the fact that he is using the red candle within the herd. Abuse the fact that he has a little bit of range on them as well. So can we get in this way?
Ganon is required.
So that's good news for Alsoa, but also not good news. That probably the person, at least the person we can see, who benefits the most from that is raikourider.
Definitely, as he is digging the wrong dungeon right now for the recorder, but we could have the bows, we could have silver, who knows what we've got here.
You could have white sword, could have red ring. I mean, at this point, it has become a more classical version of Zelda Randomizer in the fact that you do need to get some of these items. Also, stocking up on bombs.
Not a bad purchase having to dive here.
And Raiko leaving level 4. I don't know if he got the item in there.
I didn't see him get it, but that doesn't mean he didn't.
Yeah. We've also found that the white sword item is the heart container, so that's not where either of the answers are. Maybe he was out of bombs, so he took the Triforce as an easy way out of the dungeon. That conveniently gave him a heart refill.
That's better than enough, if you fill that extra heart to get sword beams. So.
And meanwhile, also up to 6 heart containers. And our bomb upgrade, 102 rupees for +5 bombs. Definitely a nice pickup.
Well, it's better than buying bombs.
Certainly does help.
And I agree with also here, picking up the red potion at this point. We're going to be in for a little bit of some dungeon diving.
Yeah, I think that's also a safety play for Ganon. I don't expect him to dive level 9 with any more than 6, maybe 7 hearts if one just happens to fall into his lap.
Agreed. He may still run into the red ring, but odds are we're going to be going very light into Ganon still.
But also is going to heal up in this fairy fountain. Raiko looked like he just missed with the candle, so he'll be checking these. And now he's up to 6 hearts. A little bit of high-five action going on between Raiko and Alsoa. Darkfall's still looking for this second item in level 1. He has his recorder, but he does not have the red candle.
We're just taking a quick glance at our map. Right now, I believe the only dungeon we have not seen is 2. I know I didn't mark 6 when it came up. I didn't see where it was.
Yeah, but definitely good to know. Level 2 is going to be another really small dungeon, really easy to get at. As vanilla, we have the grave where the vanilla magical sword is a take any, and the vanilla level 8 is also another take any. And the spectacle rock is the third take any. So pretty good spread of take any roads.
Yeah, the roads aren't horrible for a change.
Darkfall's going into level 3. We know this is going to have Bupkis.
And speaking of level 2, Raikou has found it. Yeah, 3 is going to have the magical shield. Now, stage 2 will have, or level 2 will have the item just laying on the floor. You may have to clear a room to get the item, but it'll be there on the floor for the taking.
And Manhilla threading at the grave, the hint that Raiko gets, that's actually really good for him because level 1 is right next door. If he's in the area, he may be more likely to do some digging as we've got a Goma potentially blocking something.
I didn't see a push block or anything in there, so I think he's
the only thing could block was an item drop, as also found level 2. And Darkfalls, all 3 of our runners on stream on level 2. And oh boy, we got ourselves some whiz robes.
I feel like some good wizard in that.
And it looks like they go down pretty easy. I only had 3 or 4 wood sword hits on Raiko's side, but these Pole's voices taking a little bit more.
Wouldn't you like to have the bow and silvers right now for that?
Well, just bow.
Or at least some
Raiko bought with
arrows.
arrows.
That's true.
Yeah, Raiko just would love to find the bow here.
Also, his diving
like
3.
Yep.
He didn't see the hint for.
I believe. Right. Not sure what. Yeah, he got the hint about level 8 having the raft as one of the items. And Raiko picking up another clock in this room, and well, that's a very interesting map for level 2.
Well, Raiku's not going to be terribly thrilled to see the ladder on the floor in 2 again, but happy to have it.
Yeah, I mean, it will tell him where those bomb holes are.
He's got the ladder. He's out of 2. He's going to get his any key. So our runners are fairly even right now, I would say.
Yeah, I would give a slight lead to Alsoa because he has already explored level 9 into the point where he knows where Zelda is, and he knows that Ganon's required, whereas neither of the other runners know that yet. They'll find out for sure.
Well, what's interesting here is that all 3 of our runners on stream, we're not sure about Garion right now, all have the recorder, and Alsoa is the only one who dove back into 9 to find that information out. So I'm thinking that our runners, Dark and Raikou, have assumed that since no one has done in 15 minutes or less, that
does raikourider actually have the recorder? I never saw him.
No, actually, I don't think he's gone into 1 yet. I know Dark has it.
Yeah, we know Dark has it, but yeah, I don't think raikourider's even seen level 1. And also, now he's going in. So curious what. Yeah, this is a very curious play.
He may have mismarked the floor item, or he's.
I mean,
he may be picking up the Triforce to heal.
That would be a very interesting play. Raikourider, if he heads up Candle Row and finds level 8, if he keeps on going, he'll find himself hit by a Moblin arrow is what he's going to find.
Now, level 1 is in that forgotten spot, so that's kind of a nuisance to deal with to get there. It's really not a spot that people like to route in.
But Raiko should be able to just clip his way over there once he decides he's done with level 8. We know we can't find both the items he needs in here, and Dark Falls is in level 9. The silvers can be in level 9, but I don't believe the bow can.
No, we don't have
Is the importance. Yeah, are key items possible in 9?
No.
And Raiko has found the bait block in level 9, though, so that's something.
We were told the raft was the first item in 8, correct?
We were told the raft was one of the items in 8. That was via a hint. So if that was a hint that only also bought. As Dark Falls finds the wand as one of the items in level 9.
That will definitely make him happy.
Oh yeah, and if he happens to come across a big secret, he can buy that book for Boomstick.
With 12 bombs, I don't know that you're necessarily going to buy that book, but you're not going to be sad about having the wand anyway. It doubles his combat ability right now.
That it does.
I do believe we heard Ganon, so he's maybe knows where the location is.
I'll definitely keep a better ear out for that. I don't believe I saw it. Raiko's found the Triforce in 8, and he is not interested whatsoever.
We just want the items. We don't. Really care
he might pick it up for a free heal, though. And that is what he's gonna do.
Dark Falls has found his compass and will be making his way over to Zelda, and he did get the ladder out of 2 as well.
Yes, he did. I mean, I'm honestly... Oh, apparently also it did not, because he's going back into level 2.
Oh, he's got it now.
Yeah, he does. So it's like, well, that's taken care of.
So yeah, definitely I would give a slight lead
We
to
do hear
also...
a Ganon roar from Dark Falls, so he has got it pretty well narrowed down.
I would imagine with where it was that also had that information. I don't know that we had his audio at the time, but I do believe that our runners are fairly well even at this point now, especially with Dark Falls now getting the information as well pretty quickly that Ganon's required.
Yeah, right. Raiko is the definitely the one of the 3 we can see that is behind.
And he has yet to find one, so he will remain.
He's also out of bombs, which is not a place you want to be in level 8.
Oh, definitely. Now, Raikou could find the bow as the second item in here, and that would instantly place him up in the lead. Or he could find the silvers as well.
Yeah, he could also find the red ring, which would give him a lot of utility in just being able to face tank more enemies potentially later on.
Now, normally
also,
we mention hints and stuff. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say that these red Gurias might give him a bomb drop, but you go ahead.
So we went into 9 so quickly that we didn't mention the hints are still in play. We do have mixed hints, but the 3 hints in 9 are still in play. It is possible to find the hint for Ganon, the hint for Zelda, which it sounds like we don't need those 2, but more importantly, we could get the hint for where the silvers are. They can be elsewhere, or they can be in 9, and they'll give you the quadrant. So still in play for that, as Dark Falls finds the Patra boss and loses.
Yeah, it's understandable to take a loss on that one. One other thing, I believe we've seen... I know we've seen at least one of the old men level 1. I believe we've seen 2 of them, and we've not seen any good hints from them yet.
Yeah, they're not being very talkative tonight, at least usefully. Now, the other thing that can replace, I do believe we've seen the bait block. That could replace the hint, but we've already seen it for the night. And the 3 toll runes, which I think we've seen 1 of those.
We've seen 2 of those, and there's no guarantee there's a 3rd. Raikourider did take a death, but he did get a very useful hint. Level 1 is by a lake.
Well, I mean, it's useful in the fact that we've seen most of the spots by the lake now.
Well, it's also very useful given the fact that the recorder's in level 1.
True.
Like, as you can see on the map in the middle of the screen, those the dark green squares in the background are the squares that count as by a lake. Most of them have been pretty well explored. Raiko finally getting a bomb pack out of this level 8.
Oh, and Dark taking a death right before Zelda's room.
Ugh, because it's just a rupee boss in order to get in there. And Raiko getting sniped in level 8 as well.
Yeah, so as that's happening, also is making pretty good work of 4. I don't believe we've seen the item in here yet, but Gliok is blocking a door.
If it's blocking a door, that is very true. Heart and a half, wood sword. This is definitely not going to be an easy fight, though.
Nah, you go the other way.
Yeah, that seems like a better play.
And then there's blue whiz robes. Yeah, I'm thinking 4 is not where you want to be on half a heart.
Not if you can help it, nope. But that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes you can't help it.
That Dark Falls is back here in the Guria shooting gallery, and he cleans them up, and he's going to get the news that he needs a bow and silvers very quickly.
Raiko taking care of that squiggle of danger noodles in level 8 with pretty good ease. He realized that, yeah, might as well just leave and re-enter to kill this second landmo.
Now, with the limited exploration of 9 we've had, it's nice Dark did find the wand, but surprising that our runners didn't look for that second item very quickly while they're in there. Obviously, they know they need the bow.
So Raiko has found that the other half of the trying to think of the staircase he just went through is dig dogger blocked. He does not have the recorder. Yeah,
He still hasn't made it to 1.
And there's our third mugger room. They're in level 5.
And also has gone into 5 as Dark has decided to go into 4. He'll be greeted with the Gliok here shortly.
But with the one sword, he'll be able to do a significant amount more damage per hit than Alsoa was. But still not sure that's the play he wants to make.
I believe it was a 4-headed Gliok. It's definitely not the play you want to make tonight.
Not if you can help it.
Though it could end up being the right play. We just don't know what the item here is yet.
We do not. Raiko going back through level 8, he is very convinced he's very convinced that boomerang is going to set him back to start. This is really bad. It's one of those things you have to wonder, for as much time as you're putting in, is it worth it to keep digging?
Well, there's 2 items. I don't believe he saw the hint about the raft. So to him, bow and silvers could be in here. So you've got play the odds. And he doesn't know where 1 is. Now that might be the only piece that I would argue is that you don't know where 1 is. You've spent some time in 8. It's time to go find 1.
I mean, he does have the location of 8's by a lake, but that's all the information he has.
Right, he hasn't physically set foot in it, and that's 2 items, small dungeon, versus 2 items in a ridiculous dungeon, and silvers are in 5. Oh my.
Oh my, that's huge for Alsoa. So where can the bow be? It would have to be in 6, 7, or 8, wouldn't it?
It could be in 4. We haven't seen the item in 4, 6, or 7.
And yeah, 4, 6, 7, or the first item, the other item in level 8. Yeah, Raiko continuing to get bodied by these enemies, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just not gonna bother with this level 8." And unfortunately, he needs to find a bomb drop in order to open up level 1. Hopefully, these moblins are gonna help him.
Yeah, also I almost went and purchased some arrows after picking up the silvers.
Yeah, it's not the part of the equation that you need. So I think Raiko may be backtracking his way to a bomb shop.
Yeah, definitely. So we're down to just 1 piece of this puzzle. And then really the first one to find the bow is going to have at least the advantage for now.
Well, I mean, even if Dark Falls finds the bow in 4, he is going to have to go back to 5 for silvers.
Yeah, but
Raiko
still,
is going into level 4 now.
Having the bow means you can kill from a distance as well. Plus, he's got the wand in combat. So I would definitely say if he found the bow here in 4, he's got probably the advantage at the moment, even with also having the silvers.
I agree with that. Raiko finding how bad this level 4 is on enemies. You got Pole's voices, you got Wizrobes, it's just really rough. Also, checking the other 2 hints. The magic boomerang is the item in 4. Yikes. So this dig for Dark Falls and raikourider is going to be absolutely useless for them.
Yeah,
this is further going to cement Alsoa's advantage.
Definitely. That leaves us with 6, 7, and the second item here in 8 as our potential bow spots.
Yeah,
so
none of them are places you want to dig.
Yeah, the puzzle's closing quickly. 8's not one that you mind digging, but also I was going to dig into 7. It's probably one of the more annoying dungeons to dig in any flag set.
That said, he has a decent idea of the shape if he took good notes on the shape of level 8.
And now he's got the hint that the shield's in 3, if he didn't see that already.
Then Raiko getting trolled with the 5 blue Wizrobes as Darkballs takes another death in this level 4. A stab on the old man from Raiko as well.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration with this 4. He's not had the most luck getting items out of these dungeons tonight.
Shadow Magi. The way that Legend of Zelda draws the dungeon maps and also the shapes algorithm use the same formula. Levels 1 through 6 all comprise an 8x16 grid of rooms. You will then have levels 7, 8, and 9 that comprise another 8x16 grid of rooms. So, however, level 9 always takes 1/2 of that 8x16 grid into its own 8x8. So level 7 and level 8 are compressed into this one 8x8 section. So if you know the shape of one, you know that the inverse of that is the shape of the other.
And Raikou making the right call here of saying, enough of 4, I'm going to 5.
And I'm pretty sure the 4-headed Gliok and the blue Wizrobes was the big reason behind that.
Yeah. I can't think of a reason to stick around for that.
Yeah, surprising everyone and no one. So Raiko going to be rewarded as long as he doesn't take too many deaths in this level 5 that send him further back. And that's interesting. I didn't know Hyrule was part of the EU.
Are we still getting those emails?
I haven't stopped getting those emails. And that's a very interesting and also very blocky level 5.
Oh yes, that is quite the 5. It's Raikou's got his silvers now, and is in the same... Now, interestingly enough, Raikou still doesn't have the recorder and still does not know that Ganon is required. Very much in this race.
Oh, absolutely. If he happens to make the hero call to find the bow, and it would be for him going to 6 to find that bow.
Oh, yeah, it would have to be in 6 to get him
6 or the
shot.
Second item in 8.
Right.
Just not in 7 is the thing. And thankfully for him, one of those red dark nuts provides the bombs he needed to do a bit more digging. He may be making a beeline for north and northwest of level 1. Those are some of the few places by a lake he hasn't checked yet.
Yeah, and definitely I think at this point Raikou knows that Ganon's required. 41 minutes, you know what the item is, you're guessing someone has found it. And in this flag set, you start assuming that I need to find the bow.
And I mean, that's a very logical assumption, especially with what you know about the quality of the runners, as well as the things that this randomizer can do.
You may need that recorder to get the bow. Look at this in 7.
Oh, that is a dig dogger block, but Raiko has found the right dungeon. There's level 1.
Oh,
and let's see. Yeah, so the power bracelet in level 7, so it's either 6 or 8 that has this bow. I mean, also picking up, mostly just to be thorough, I suppose. Raiko's gonna pick up his red candle in this room, I believe.
Also, it hasn't seen 6, if I remember correctly. I don't believe. I think Dark Falls was the only one who actually saw 6.
I believe that's right. We know that none of the dungeons are power bracelet blocked, so the power bracelet cannot be required for anything. And trails, according to Norestra, who did play in this tournament, I don't believe you can have important items in level 9.
Yeah, the flags are set for the dungeon items are shuffled, but no key items in 9. So a little bit different than the Pentaforce flags here.
Yes, we have seen level 6. We just don't know exactly where it is to mark on the map. As would like to thank OPT Lawyer and his raid. Give it up for OPT, the best dressed streamer in Rando.
Hey, what am I, chopped liver?
You're the suavest voice in Rando.
As also has found 6, so the play is either here in 6 or in 8. We'll find out fairly shortly.
So 8 was right above in Vanilla Letter Cave, right above the randomized Letter Cave.
So
and
now
Darkfall has silvers out of level 5, so everyone's got that. The only question is, where's that bow?
Tonight, the Holy Grail is the Recorder, which is hiding in level 1, as Raikou has now found it.
So all 3 of our runners have the Holy Grail. All 3 of our runners have the silver arrows. Raikou's the only one of the 3 that we can see that does not know the game's required, but I think he's probably put together the game's required from the fact that we're 45 minutes in and no one's done. But he may be going to check for himself.
I mean, he could also assume that 9's being 9 and trolling some people. But
it's good to have the information, and especially if he takes a route similar to Dark Falls, then he will come across the information of, oh, there's Ganon and Zelda as well.
Right, yeah, in this case, the knowledge is useful. The compass was so early in 9 that it's not as useful. The bigger problem is going to be that, oh, he's going to go pick up the blue ring. Good call at this point.
All right.
Like I was saying, with the knowledge of Ganon, the only real advantage he will probably go seek Zelda before he goes and fights Ganon.
Actually, hang on a tick. When Dark Falls got the wand, didn't he get that out of level 6?
No, the wand was in 9.
Oh, right, okay, the wand was in 9, and oh, shoot.
Yeah,
we have found the vertical shoot room here in level 6.
That's always fun.
So raikourider, now with a new shirt, down to 5 rupees. He only does need 1. But he is going to check for himself in this level 9. And let's see what play Dark Falls decides to make. He is going to make that boomstick play. Alright. With 2 bombs, I can definitely see it being warranted.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad choice here. Yeah, also has cleared considerably more than the other runners at this point.
Also, Shadow Magi bringing up the fact that of the 3 items that are left in play for our runners, we have the bow, we have the red ring, and we have trying to think what item we're missing. There's always one you leave missing.
We haven't seen the white sword yet either.
The white sword. So, yeah, all 3 of the items in play in level 6, 8, and the second item in 9 are very useful to our runners. And all 3 of our runners on stream are in a different one of those dungeons.
So Garion is running. He was unable to get his stream working, so he is running offline. We are keeping a track on the SRL room for his done confirmation.
And Garion, and a veteran stalwart of the game, definitely has all of our trust here at Randomania. Raikou, I believe, is very close to Ganon's room here. He has the compass for level 9. And I think this staircase may be the one that takes him really close.
So this right here is the race, really. With what we know, either Dark is going to find the second item here in 8, and it's going to be the bow, or also is going to find this item in 6, and it will be the bow, and we will have what will be probably our first place finisher.
Most likely.
Unless Garion's already pieced this all together and we just can't see it.
That is possible. It's going to be very, very interesting to see, because I'm sure Garion will be able to give us some insight when he makes his posting on his race. As Dark Falls finds a stair, but unfortunately that's the transport staircase in level 8, and that is a dead Lynel on Dark Falls' screen.
Oh, and level 6 is full of wizards. That'll be fun.
Shadow Magi, yes, there are second quest push blocks. It will always be the push block in the middle row that opens up a staircase. And there's our third old man, Garia's Guard the Compass. That is probably the single worst hint that he could have gotten, although I'm sure that none of the hints that could have had in level 9 are helpful.
Yeah, the bow doesn't give you a hint, unfortunately. I have experience with this.
I'm many a runner in the Penaforce tournament have experience with that, where it's not the silvers they need in level 9, it's the bow, and the game won't tell you anything about that.
Yeah, that's the one unfortunate thing about the hint system, is that bow and 9's not fun. But tonight, it won't be here.
Path to Zelda, so... And with the wand, sword, and blue ring, he should not have issues with this Patra. Oh wait, it wasn't the Patra room, it's just a bomb room, so this is going to be very unfortunate for him. Oh wait, no, it's Zelda's room. He knows he can't bomb in.
So, Dark is in what could potentially be an item room here. Making good use of the wand and explosion, but the bow is in 6. Oh my!
Oh, so there it is, also with the big lead. And how much has Dark Falls explored to know that 6 is the next big play?
He has been in 6. He's the only other runner that has. Yeah. But I don't know the answer to that. He hasn't seen the hint about 3 or 4.
And I don't think he's seen the hint about
and he hasn't seen
level 8. So yeah, so there's plenty of places he could look.
So with that, also is going to go fill up his heart containers, and we should have bacon shortly. He does still have his potion, so this should be relatively quickly. As the white sword is the second item in 8, which puts the red ring in 9. All
right then, it's going to be well, for most players, most ordinary players, I should say, would be less than ideal conditions to fight Ganon. 7 hearts, green tunic, wood sword, but also no stranger to the game. He should not have any issues with it. Raikou sees the Patra and decides he does not want to take it on to get the confirmation check on Zelda's room. So hopefully he gets a bomb drop off these Garias so he can check around and find the Rupee boss.
How about another Patra?
How about another Patra? And Raikou may think, that's a room to Zelda. That's a room to Zelda's. That's a door to Zelda's room. Let's just roll with it, because he has a line to Zelda, and he knows that much right now.
So, quick reminder of what's at stake here for Alsoa. He needs to survive the next 2 weeks to make what should be a solid lock for the Tournament of Champions. Both Garion and Dark Falls are looking for spots in the play-in tournament, and Raikou has locked in a spot already.
Yeah, Dark Falls and Garion, they already have points, so they're guaranteed to make it into the play-in tournament. However, they do not... more points can only help their standing in this play-in tournament, I believe. Whereas also, if he gets only 1 point, that'd bring him to 11, which puts him at a fair to middling chance that he could get knocked out of the 10th place that he's in. But if he gets 3 points, he should be okay. And if he gets 6 or 9 points, he will be guaranteed a position in the tournament.
And see what Raiko just did to that Gleeok? Our runners have been so afraid of it all night, and it turns out if you take the wand to it, it dies really quickly.
Yeah, the Gleeok rolled rather low on HP. But this is going to be a very unfortunate dig for Raiko because we know the item in here is the magic boomerang.
Yeah, so right now, Dark Falls is in the right area for 6. It's up here in the vanilla letter spot. He does know that, so he is making the right play to stay alive. Reminder, the last place finisher, as Raikou finds his blue boomerang and runs, the last place finisher is eliminated, and we do this again next week until we have 2 remaining.
Yeah, so it'll be this one. So there will be this race and then 2 more in the next 2 weeks. As Dark Falls is back in level 6, this is where he needs to be.
And also has got Ganon.
Healing out of level 4. So, yes, a Hyrule Driver is going to deal 4 hearts of damage to Alsoa with the green tunic. He's going to need 15 hits with this.
It's random, so it may be 15.
It is random. It looks like it is going to be 15. Yeah, it's not 0. And look at that stun lock, ladies and gentlemen. That is just absolutely textbook.
Unfortunately, there he goes. He got him.
Ooh, drop the stun lock a little bit, but only needed like 1 more hit to finish it off. So
also, it does
will be our first place finisher.
Barring gets sniped by Garion.
Yeah, the Garion off stream snipe is a possibility. Meanwhile, raikourider going to 8. He has not gotten the hint that the Wrapped and the White Sword are in here.
So I can't blame him with this play. It's the 2 items. You know, he's committed a lot of time to this 8 already, so he knows most of the rooms. This is definitely the right play for him, at least.
Yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate that it's not going to be the correct play. However, he may think that 6 is a better decision than 7, which will lead him in the right direction.
And the shutter doors open, and with a time of 55 minutes and 57 seconds, Alsoa is going to take first place here. So we're down to 3 runners. Again, last place gets eliminated.
Yes, the rule of the Battle Royale, doesn't matter if you get first, just don't get last. But everyone get your GGs in chat for Alsoa, very well deserved. And we'll see if we can't get him in here for a bit of a talk.
And while we're waiting on Alsoa and our runners to kind of move around, I want to remind everyone, tomorrow night on Speed Gaming, Dark Falls will be taking on AMO as he finds the bow here. AMO 22 for the final spot in the brackets for the Pinafore tournament. That will be at 10 p.m. Eastern, so you'll want to tune into that.
Is Raiko continuing to go in? As we do have Alsoa here in chat. Congratulations on taking first place, man.
Thank you.
So, this seed looked like it could have been lightning quick, and then it decided to mess with you some. What were you thinking about when you found that recorder in level 1?
I was ecstatic that it was in the Forgotten Spot, because it's called the Forgotten Spot for a reason.
That it is. That it is.
And I think in the long run, getting into 9 so early before I found the bow, and then seeing Ganon was required, pretty much led me to the silvers, because that pushed me out of 9 instead of digging 9 for both items.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, there's also the fact that the bow can't be in level 9.
Exactly.
Now, with our runners all being tournament runners, that could have tricked them, but it didn't. So you found out very early that Ganon was required. Both Dark Falls and Raikou found the recorder much later, and neither one of them ran straight to 9 after they did. They kind of explored a little bit more.
You know, I thought about picking up the Triforce in 1 after I got the recorder for about half a second, and then I had already up in 8, so I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting it now.
As we can see, that level 9, and good grief, what a level 9 that is. Dark Falls did buy the, he found the wand as one of the items in level 9. Wand and Red Ring are the items in level 9. So he went and bought the book, so he's got his Atlas as well.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, that Red Ring would have been helpful.
And it looks like a 54-room level 9. That is really, really small.
Oh, to answer a potential question before it comes up, I did not hear Ganon the first time in that staircase because I wasn't paying attention for him.
Fair enough.
We were wondering that because we didn't have your audio on. We had Dark's on, and he found Ganon's room very quickly.
Yeah, I totally forgot to turn my audio on, actually.
Oh, no.
For the first, 30 minutes.
Meanwhile, raikourider has left level 8, but it might only be because he's out of bombs. And what's worse, he does not have the money required to buy a pack. He's going to have to force them off of these moblins, but does get 2 drops.
Dark Falls is making his way over to...
Yeah, Dark Falls did hear Ganon. He does know exactly where the pig is. And Raikou is going to go back into level 8, and all this is going to be for the raft.
Interesting that Dark Falls is...
Dark Falls is leaving.
I think he may have forgot that Ganon was required and went and got health.
Okay.
Oh, Dark Falls doesn't have the ladder. I don't think there was a single ladder block.
Like, we've seen Dark Falls use the ladder. I'm almost positive of that.
Interesting. I'll have to double check his status screen. I'm watching it on the channel.
Yeah. And it must have only been for a health refill, yeah.
This 9 is very weird shaped. You are correct.
It is. But Raikou's the only one who purchased a ring, so at this point he's the only one with any sort of defense unless Dark does stumble into the red ring here.
I don't think I saw a single map.
We saw a couple. You saw the map for level 1, that little donut-shaped thing. With
that's right.
Raikou's found his raft in level 8, so he knows that it's got to be 6 or 7. So, actually, I don't think he's found the item in level 3. I don't know if he's gotten the hint that that's the magical shield either.
I believe the hint is in 6, but he is headed up towards 6 right now.
The hint is in 7.
Oh, it's in 7?
Okay. So, if he hasn't found 7, then 6 is the only dungeon he knows where it is. So that would justify this play, and it is going to end up being the right call for him.
See, I'm not gonna lie. When I found 6 as late as I did, I figured, in spite of having found early that Ganon was required, how late I found 6 was gonna put me a little behind.
Dark found 6 early, but I don't believe he'd found, or he had just gotten the sword.
Yeah.
So he got in there, but he really didn't have the tools to, you needed the ladder, you needed bombs. You really didn't have the tools to deal with that 6.
Also, I believe the bow was dig dogger blocked.
It was.
Yeah, so you needed to have gotten the recorder out in order for any of that to work.
Wait, where was the white sword?
White sword was second item in level 8.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
Not that you needed it, Mr. 14 hit stun lock. Still.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, that is the best Ganon fight I've had in the past, 2 months.
It was definitely a very good Ganon fight.
In any case, also, you are guaranteed to get to next week, so you're guaranteed to pick up at least 3 points. That'll put you at 13. Surviving next week will guarantee you 15, which is going to be enough for going to guarantee you a spot at the Tournament of Champions. You think you got what it takes to give this one more go?
I just gotta pull a repeat of this week or last run, which was 3 weeks ago now, and I'm good.
Fair enough.
And Dark Falls has found Ganon's, or at least the Roar of Ganon, so he knows where Ganon is now.
I don't believe he has a potion, though, so this might be a little bit treacherous for him. Because he, like you, is on 7 Hearts Blue Tunic.
Green
7
tunic
Hearts
in this case.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a white sword.
He does have White Sword, yes. That is something.
It will cut down the number of swings, but still, not the safest Ganon fight ever.
Also, chat reminding me, he does have a blue potion. So this will take 7 or 8 hits with the White Sword.
It is 8. Not quite able to get the timing for the stun lock, but he seems to have a good pattern, so that may be irrelevant.
Stun lock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
him behind.
It's by it's what, 61 frames, give or take?
I think it's exactly 60.
Okay.
I heard somebody say that if you keep a metronome at 60 beats per minute, you'll be able to keep up with it, and I believe that was Redbird that said that, but I'd have to confirm with him.
I mean, if Redbird said it, I'd certainly be inclined to trust him on it.
Definitely.
Rebecca continuing to dig through this level 6, hoping to come across that staircase.
So it's right now it's looking like Dark is going to move on to next week. That leaves Raikou and Garion as our final 2 to find out who will be eliminated.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. It felt like you pretty much had the full clear 6 to find that bow, no matter what route you took through it.
Yeah, 6 was not a fun dungeon, it appeared.
You see that Dark is going the quick way to Zelda. That involves not fighting a Patra.
That involves not fighting a Patra, indeed. But everyone get your GGs in chat for Dark Falls, who's finished with an official SR time of 1 hour, 5 minutes, 43 seconds.
Yep, and Raikou is leaving 6, and I guess he's going back in.
Maybe looking for a bomb wall.
That is probably what he is doing. He does have 5 bombs, though. So, not sure what he accomplished by leaving the dungeon. He reset all the enemies. Maybe that's what he wanted.
Could be
possible. Get your bomb-dropping enemies back.
That would be a very heads-up play if that was the case.
So how's about those 1 hit point fires?
Yeah, those things were useful. As with that, we have Dark Falls here in the commentary booth. Congrats on moving on.
Thank you, guys. Hey, GG, I said well played.
GG to you as well. I saw your some of your experience in 9 after I finished, and good job tackling that with such little resources.
2 words, boomstick.
2 words, boomstick is probably as good as you're gonna get on this.
Wait, there was a wand and a white sword in this scene? What is this madness?
The wand was only 2 rooms into level 9.
Oh, well, I guess that's why you need to take staircases in 9.
Well, that kind of screwed me up because I couldn't remember the path again right away, so it took me a couple minutes to figure out how to get back to him. I actually went a different route to the back way.
Meanwhile, raikourider, he is still looking for his bow. He is in level 6, so if he stays in here, he is eventually going to come across it. But we still have no clue where Garion is compared to where Raikou is.
You know, I think based on what I've seen of his map, he's pretty much full cleared this except for the room that has the bow.
Pretty much.
I
I
guess.
would agree with that.
Pretty close. Like, you see that 4-room segment that he hasn't been able to or willing to get into.
So I got, I actually did my first ever tournament screen scrolls, and I found level 1 in that forgotten spot, because I had checked 8, I forgot to go check the Armos by Death Mountain and all that. And then I found level 1 and level 3, and I got down to the Armos. And then I got the 1 out of 1, and I figured I would finish my route. I found level 2 in the bomb spot. I got the ladder 1 room in, which was really nice. And I figured I was still going to try to find some hearts, just in case Ganon was absolutely needed.
And
I kind of went down
has,
to the Lost Woods.
Raikou has found his bow, so he will be headed off to face the pig now.
Yes, we know Raikou has a path to Ganon. His path involves going through the Patra, though. He's been having bomb troubles the entire seed.
Boomstick.
Boomstick indeed, but he decided not to buy the book. He decided to buy a blue ring.
It would have been nice. That's kind of why I got fed up with level 4, and I wasn't going back to it unless I absolutely had to, because I died so many times in that stupid level 4.
Did you get the hint of the item in there?
I did not. What was it?
Magic boomerang.
Oh, so that would have been made me even more salty. Might have even snapped my controller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Raikou ended
Raikou
up finding
Did
it.
find that, but he is taking a heal. He'll be going off level 9. And in the meantime, all eyes are on the IRC chat to see if Garion can pull this out.
Was the boomerang and the wizard boom?
The magic boomerang, I'm not exactly sure which room it was in. Raikou also gonna buy one more pack of bombs just in case.
Yeah, those bombs were expensive. I only found 2 large secrets.
Yeah, I mean, money was really good, but you had to use all of it.
Did anyone else buy a candle?
No, you were the only one who bought the candle.
Oh, good. Just to find the red candle immediately.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Where was
how it
that candle?
works.
Yeah, the game knows. You should be used to that by now also.
I mean, that's the way it works with everything. You buy, you buy the blue ring, you find the red ring, you buy the candle, or you get the candle. Yeah, the game's just
I mean,
that.
be that as it may, I've heard some really good runners say that if buying the blue ring got you the red ring every time, they'd buy the blue ring every time.
Oh, yeah.
Buy it twice. Speaking of buying it twice, there also, what happened there when you came into the shop after finding the silvers? You almost bought yourself some arrows there.
Yeah, that is what we call a force of habit, that whenever I see arrows and I have the money, I start gravitating towards them, and it takes me sometimes a second to realize, wait, I have silvers, what am I doing?
Meanwhile, raikourider seems to have a path on his mind. He may have found an alternate way to Ganon that goes around that loop.
Does he know where she is?
Yeah, he's got the compass.
Yeah, Raikou came in late. He found He found one very late. But he came into 9 at about the 40-minute mark or so to look around.
Okay, Raikou has found, or he can hear the roar of Ganon, so he's homing in on the pig's location as well. And we still do not, as of yet, have a dot done from Garion.
So yeah, I would at any moment, and that's the thing that's got to be on Raikou's mind right now as he goes into this Ganon fight. A little bit better armed than anyone tonight with the blue ring and the white sword, but
Yeah, blue ring, white sword, 8 hearts. This should be. I hate this. I don't want to jinx him, but should be fairly academic.
yeah, at this point, you're just thinking, I've got to get to Zelda, and I've got to get the dot done as fast as I can because I don't know where my opponent is.
Well, that's exactly how you kill Ganon when you need to.
Definitely.
So it's going to be a beeline to Zelda's room, and he's going to hope it's going to be good enough. And actually, he's got a direct path to get his way back. He knows that he just needs to get through that Patra room. He knows that Patra does have a door. He hasn't found another way, but he may not need it.
I'm pretty sure that other way was killing that blue Garionoldwolf room and getting the rupees, but he doesn't need it as he clips the block, and we'll finish in third place with the time of 1 hour, 13 minutes, 4 seconds. So get your final GGs out for the night, as that will end Garion's time in this tournament. We're not sure where he is.
And we'll see if we can't get Raiko in here for a quick chat.
And while we're waiting on Raikou, quick reminder again, Dark Falls will be taking on AMO 22 tomorrow, speed gaming at 10 p.m. Eastern. And also tomorrow here on Randomania, we will be having the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament Last Chance Play-In. That will be held on what appears to be Randomania 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 4 at least right now, with that being at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow night at 10:30 Eastern, we'll be having another Battle Royale. I'm not sure which one this one is, but that is at 10:30 Eastern tomorrow.
I feel like that's the one with the shapes and the hidden level numbers that is just, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of the Battle Royals here that are nasty. And with that said, we do have raikourider in here. So GG Raikou on third place. You survived for another week.
Hang on. All right, now that that's fixed. Yeah, I felt I was horribly behind the entire race.
You definitely were. we'll put it that way. You found one.
I was the last
very
person,
late.
I was the last person to find the wood sword, last person to find one. Probably the last person to find the ladder.
You were actually the first to find ladder, but it was by less than a minute. And I believe you were the second to find silver arrows.
Okay, so the biggest thing that was really tough in the seed was level 8.
Yes, you spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, the reason why I spent so much time in level 8 is because I had explored so much of it and I hadn't found either item at that point. So I really felt pot committed to finishing level 8. And then it was very obvious that there was that one shooter room with the Gurias with increased HP and the likes was going to be required. And I was just thinking, there's no way I'm doing this room without a ring of some kind.
And then all that for the raft, unfortunately.
And then the reason why I dug 6 before 7 is because I felt horribly behind.
I mean, it did turn out to be the right play. The 7 did have the power bracelet. You found the wand in level 9, and the other item was the red ring.
That sure would have been helpful.
Agreed.
But the combat in the seed, despite the way the enemy sets were, was really tough.
Well, it seems like
Also,
a lot of... Go ahead.
I do want to chime in that even off stream and even after everyone else is done, we do have an official SRL time for Garionoldwolf, finishing with an official time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, 7 seconds. So very well done in his end. Battling through the tech issues, very well played, and I'm sure it's going to be very interesting to watch back.
Oh, Garion and I must have been in a dogfight for third place. He apparently had a lot. He had a lot of trouble with Ganon, he said, and Ganon and Zelda were both a trip to get to in 9.
Yeah.
At least the way I found. There was probably a faster way. I just didn't find it.
I don't think there was a faster way, but there was definitely a path of lesser resistance. Through a bomb hole, you could have gone south, and then you only had to kill a rupee boss.
And then that stair room, and then the diamond stair room where you can hear Ganon, you can bomb left into it. You can bomb on the right wall, and you'll go into his room.
Yeah, that's the way I found into his room.
Yes. I missed out on all the good items in this seed. Ish.
But But overall, especially in the first third of the game, I feel I didn't play very well. I died way too much. I was really stubborn about routing the overworld efficiently and not valuing just going immediately to the wood sword enough. You might have noticed that in the way I routed the overworld and how long it took me to find the wood sword. It's because I had exploration tools really early. Oh, speaking of exploration tools, this is the second most amount of money that I've spent on a seed buying bombs.
I mean, at the very least, the game did give you plenty of money to spend on them.
I went the ring and I bought the boomstick.
I spent so much money on on bombs that I was thinking by the end of it, man, I should have just bought the book, because I spent 70 rupees on bombs early as soon as I found the first large secret, trying to clean up the overworld as quickly as possible. Because I think that overworld routing is a big part of... It's a big way that that you can controllably improve times in Zelda 1 Rando. But I think I probably spent a little bit too much time... I spent a little bit too much time trying to make sure I could route the overworld efficiently, rather than just trying to find the wood sword. And it really showed, because it took me about 17 minutes to find the wood sword, and I had something like 5 or 6 W's in my boot column on my tracker.
Leaving dungeons because you don't have the weapons to clear them out.
Correct.
I think that might have helped me out a little bit, as I routed for the Armos items first and open caves on the way, and the wood sword happened to be under an Armos, so I just kind of took it and then found one on the way to get the Armos item, which the any key was huge.
Yeah, you had no keys when you picked that up. That was a very timely pickup out of one for you.
I only had 1 key as well when I found the any key, but I tell you what, I was not happy to find the any key when I did, because I knew it was not difficult to find. I just did not go to 1 because of all the bomb issues I had. I had so much bomb problems in the seed. Even after finding the any key, I just had constant bomb trouble in the seed.
Yeah, to quote Darkfall's boomstick.
I never really saw him in any bomb troll, but he didn't buy any of the bomb upgrades. He didn't have boomstick. I guess he just must have gotten a lot more timely drops than you did.
Who, me?
But that's randomizer for it. Also.
Yep. And I also decided forewent both blue ring and boomstick to get hints, which is how I knew that the raft was an 8 and just never went there, because to me it wasn't worth it until I had to.
I have both items marked off on 8, but I didn't find the raft, so I must have screwed up. But
that
probably helped me.
I completely forgot about the 1 hint shop I found when I had money, so that was a really dumb mistake I made. Whoops.
The one in Monaco Rock?
Yeah, I completely forgot about that hint shop when I had money.
Yeah, that cheap hint was raft is an 8.
And I believe both the other 2 hints were community.
Man, that would have been nice to know.
All right, so with that, we should wrap up here and close this down. So any final thoughts from our runners tonight?
Well, I guess I live to survive another week, and I get to play with more of the house's money.
Definitely. And again, if you enjoyed this, follow all of our runners. They do more than just Zelda 1 Randomizer. Tune in next week, same time, possibly different channel, but most likely it'll be here on Random Mania 1 for the final 3 match.
Looking forward to it.
As am I.
All right, so
thanks, everyone.
Aldron, any final thoughts from you on the seed or on?
Well, it was a great seed. We had a great race and some great runners. I'd also like to give a big thanks to Captain Green 7 for handling the restream, and Tails MK4 for being our tracker. Definitely not easy to track, even 3 of these screens all at once. Fantastic job. And also, I want to give a quick shout out to everyone in the audience. We wouldn't have anything to commentate on if you guys weren't here to watch, so thanks for coming out.
Yeah, so with that, we are going to close up here. Again, a reminder, the final match for the Pinafore tournament tomorrow, Speed Gaming, 10 p.m. That is Dark Falls versus AMO 22. More Zelda 1 randomizer tomorrow night at 10:30 here on Randomania with the next Battle Royale.